Right. As the protests are just not limited to the state of Karnataka, many other parts of the states are also witnessing such protests over the hijab controversy. And in Bengaluru, also the students with hijab and their parents stage a protest after they were not allowed in a school. Meanwhile, these pictures on your screens are from Ludhiana that have broken out in the state of Punjab in favor of hijab. And in Jammu also yesterday, we were looking at protests that were the anti-protests on the other side, protests that were taking place where they were actually supporting education rights of women other than religious symbolism. So this is the pro-hijab protest in Ludhiana. On your screens, as we'll try and get our reporters to give a hands-on update as to what has been witness of these protests that seemingly is now taking place in different parts of the country as well. In Karnataka, for now, the situation seems to be under control, especially with many of those areas reporting protests. But there is also a restraining order on part of the Karnataka High Court's interim order that had come out as it was asking all of those schools there to maintain a law and order situation so that it does not get created, because for now the colleges that have been asked to remain shut till the 16th of this month. It's on the 14th on Monday when the High Court will resume its proceedings. Let me first go across to Amandeep. I'm told Aneri is also joining us live. Amandeep, good morning. The pictures coming in from Ludhiana, please explain them to us.
Well, absolutely, Amita. The point is that now hijab controversy has also reached to Punjab as well. This is the first protest that staged in Ludhiana, and even the females protesting on the road. They have put out the banner also that they quoted the hijab is their right, and in fact nobody can snatch their right. And even they are also quoting the incidents of Karnataka and several other parts of the country, and even they are trying to put pressure on the state of Punjab also that this kind of order should not be passed in Punjab as well. But overall, this is the first protest that has been staged in Ludhiana in state of Punjab, and in fact they have blocked the road. Administration is trying to negotiate the talks with the protesters just to lift their protest, and even their demand is only one, that nobody can pressurize to remove the hijab, and even the protest is just for the hijab. But the point is that Punjab always remains separate from such kind of protest and controversies, but now it has also entered in Punjab, which is a poll-bound state, and in fact it may create so kind of problem to the administration and the election commission if this protest will intensify. Yes, Amita.
So in Ludhiana, those protest visuals that are coming from, let me go across to Aneri, who's joining us from Bengaluru. Aneri, we are told that not just to students, even their parents are also holding a protest there in Bengaluru. Over to you.
Well, that's right, Amita. When we speak about the incident which happened just some time back here in Bengaluru, we are reporting outside the Vidyasagar English Public School here in Bengaluru. And the parents have been alleging that there was a teacher who had said some inappropriate language she had used against the students here yesterday. And later we see that the student had approached their parents, and later we see that now the parents had come here staging a protest demanding that the teacher should give an apology. And now we see that police is trying to bring the situation under control. Massive police has been deployed here outside this.
Right. Aneri, we'll just reconnect that line with you. But Amandeep, in the meantime, because we were also looking at the other side of the protest that had taken place in Jammu, and those pictures that were also coming across, because we are looking at two versions of protest, pro and anti.
Absolutely, Amita. Some are in the favor, but some are actually against this protest. Some are taking it as a restriction and they want the freedom from this hijab so they can come out. But some are quoting it as their religion right, and even nobody is allowed to go against the hijab. There is always a two side. They have not one line to follow. In fact, there are certain people, and even the count of that people who are actually against the hijab is much higher. Even on the other side who are in the favor of hijab are somewhere down the line lesser the voices. Just because the point is some are feeling that this is a very big restriction on them, and some are feeling that there is a religion right. But the point is that there has to be some kind of balance in them. Even there is no such restriction, and even there everyone is everyone has right to live their own life. So that is the reason. Always two sides. But in Punjab, it is only one side so far, that they all are protesting for hijab, and hijab is their religion right. Nobody can remove it.
So we'll
so
continue
far,
tracking
another
all of
side.
these updates from the other parts of the states where we are looking at these protests taking place. But of course, it's on the 14th on Monday when the court will resume its proceedings in Karnataka. For the moment, thanks very much, Amandeep and Aneri, for joining in.